Hello, my little. What do I call you guys again? I was about to say little nuggets, and I'm like, that's not what we call each other anymore. My honey bunnies. I'm gonna have to get used to that. Sorry, if you're new here, I apparently call you honey bunnies now. I don't know anymore. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's honey bunnies. I just felt like that resonated a little bit more, and we've got a little bit of a wonky episode today. If you're listening to this on YouTube, you understand why it's wonky. Nothing that I'm saying is matching up the words that you're seeing on screen. And that is because this little honey bunny here, she, I don't know what she did, but these Rode wireless mics are just giving me such a hard time. And I really thought they'd be great, because, Rode, But that is not the case. So here I am, trying to remember what I talked about. Just kidding. Actually, guys, I did a really good thing. Aside from messing up the audio, I wrote down what I wanted to talk about. And I came prepared. So I kind of know what I'm talking about. Obviously, in the moment, it was its own vibes. The water hitting the rocks, which I shall insert right now. And, yeah, here we are. Totally recording in scene live. Totally not a voiceover. But I hope you don't mind, and there's a message to be told here. And I hope you listen and have fun. Okay, well, today's whatchamacallit episode is a little controversial. It's a little como se dice. Ew, I sounded so gringa there. But yeah, it's a controversial topic, and we're just gonna dive right in, baby. Okay, so do you ever notice how whenever the world starts falling apart, everyone suddenly turns into a financial advisor for celebrities? Like gas prices are high. Why doesn't Jeff Bezos just fix it? Wildfires raging on the island? Well, I mean, Pamela Anderson's from the island. She should pay for the fire department. And world hunger? Elon, why don't you just Venmo a third world country real quick? It's insane. Like, people treat rich people like there's some machine, like an ATM machine at the grocery store, and you just gotta shake it hard enough and see if the change falls out of it. And that's such a crazy topic, and this topic came about because, as I mentioned, the island's on fire. Most of Canada's on fire. It's really disheartening, and a lot of natural disasters do come up. And in these moments, it's not only my roommate, it's so many people I've spoken to that look towards these billionaires, these famous people, to help in these kinds of situations. So, I really wanted to sit here and talk about that, because I think it's an important topic, and feel free to debate with me in the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinion on this. And at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. It's just what I think. Doesn't mean it's the right thing. But hear me out. I might have a thing or two to say about this that might change your mind, or it might not. That's totally fine. So let me put it this way. Imagine you've worked your whole damn life for success. Not a year, not 5, literally decades long of putting in effort and work to get to where you want to be. And you came from nothing. Imagine you literally came from a small town in the middle of nowhere. Maybe some of you don't even have to imagine it because you did. But just imagine it. And a place with just like literally one grocery store, if you're from Canada, one Timmy's. And you've spent years hustling, failing, crying in your car, living off of pizza or nasty gas station egg sandwiches. And then finally, you make it. You can finally breathe for the first time. You've got the car, you've got the house, you've got that kitchen with the marble countertops. Whatever your idea of success is, you are there. And then suddenly, the world turns to you and they're like, wow, congratulations, you're so successful. Now you're officially the designated savior of society. Fix inflation, fix hospitals, and end hunger. And while you're at it, maybe you could pay for my student loans. And then you're like, excuse me? I did not work that hard to get here for other people to just be willingly asking me for things. Are you kidding me? I remember once I was watching a James Charles video and he was talking about how this old classmate of his who actually used to torture him literally messaged him up and said, hey, can you buy me a Gucci bag or something like that. And he was like, no, you literally tormented me. Or I don't even know if he replied. But I just vividly remember that, thinking, whoa. Oh my god. Like, people do that? And then you hear it, like, day to day, and you're like, oh yeah, no. People do that. And it's a little messed up, if you really think about it. Like, I can't imagine working so hard. And of course, like, it's a great sign if people don't think you've struggled, right? Like, you've done it for so long, like, you carry it so well. It's a compliment. But to then have someone just be like, okay, well then, since you're up there, it's a new obligation for you to take care of everyone else. Like, as if that's not every single person's obligation. ... Okay. You know what? Let's talk about the slogan, eat the rich. First of all, ew. And second of all, you really think ganging up on a Bill Gates and Elon Musk is gonna fix the housing crisis? No. You know what people really want? They want a scapegoat. It isn't justice. It's just someone to blame for their own choices. Someone to point to and say, oh, you have the money? Cool. And it's your fault that I don't. Listen, babes, eating the rich won't pay your rent. It won't fix your relationship, and it won't stop Karen from stealing your oat milk. Okay? So stop looking at others and blaming them for the life that you chose. You chose. Like, we all have a choice. We all go to school. And then our teachers prepare us to go into college or into the workforce. And you are given a choice. Granted, maybe you don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life at the age of 16 years old. I totally understand that. I didn't know what I wanted up until the age of 20. And that's totally fine. People don't even know by the age of like 60. There is no time limit on this. You know, you just kind of have to make your own choices and deal with the consequences of those choices. And sometimes, yeah, you do get into a rut. Sometimes you do find yourself at rock bottom. And then that's when you can pivot, change, choose other things, you know? Like, if you feel like you've gotten to a place where you're looking at someone to wave a magic wand and make your life better, hate to break it to you, boo, but that's not gonna get you anywhere. Nobody's coming to save you. You gotta get up and do it, you know? Like, if you're, let me use myself for example. All I want in life is to own multiple properties and be a landlord and, like, manage those properties and rent them out. And, like, I have so many great and big ideas when it comes to that, when it comes to real estate. It's actually, like, kind of a low-key passion for me. I don't really talk about it. And no, I will not be a real estate agent. I mean, maybe, hey, who knows? You never know. Would love probably to get my license one day. I think that would be fun. But yeah, like, I can't expect to meet a guy and for him to just buy me all these properties. Like, for sure, I could do that. I could try to manifest him. I could try to... But what fun in that? Like, where is the fun? There is no fun in that. Like, that's just so boring. And, like, who's to say it'll actually be under my name? What if there are clauses? What, like, no. You know? No. I think it's just not much easier. Definitely much harder. Definitely the path of most resistance to get there myself, you know? Like, learn how to save. Learn how to invest. Learn how to look at the market and know what's right and what's wrong, where to take action, where to not take action, you know? I think doing the baby steps and learning it on your own way is the best way. So the same way that a billionaire has figured out how to become a billionaire, and I'm not talking about, like, the Nepo babies. We'll get there, okay? We'll get there. I'm just talking about the people who are self-made. The people who literally started from nothing and became this, and were, like, trying to get money from these people. Like, no. That's who we're talking about. So, I can't imagine getting to a successful place and people expecting something out of me, you know? I really feel for them. I mean, boo-hoo, wow, you have so much money. Like, they don't care that we think this way. Let me tell ya, okay? They're doing just fine. But for the rest of us that are looking for someone to blame for our own choices, I think we're looking at the wrong person here. I think we need to look in the mirror. And we need to ask ourselves, like, are my daily choices leading me to how I want to live my life, essentially? Like, we only have this one life, right? Like, don't look to someone else to make your life, your movie, the greatest movie ever told. You know, I think this is where we look inward. But here's the thing that nobody wants to admit, is that the world doesn't get fixed because rich people write checks. The world gets fixed when all of us decide to stop being trash humans. Just genuinely focusing on our financial, emotional, and spiritual well-being. So yeah, instead of tweeting "Eat the Rich" from your iPhone 15, which, by the way, costs the same as 2 months' rent in a small town, and maybe start by not being an asshole to the barista that messed up your order. It starts with you. Like, we each have our own individual purpose. and our own drive, and we're all responsible for that. And our own emotions, like everything in our life that you could possibly imagine is a reflection of who we are. Our environment, yes, and I agree with the fact that sometimes you are put in an environment that you are made, and your purpose is to actually go through that environment and come out stronger, come out better. I truly, truly, truly believe that. And that's why we're given challenges, right? Like, challenges are great. They're what makes us evolve spiritually, emotionally, physically, So, having issues is part of the whole big picture. It's about how you can navigate it, how you can do it differently, right? And I lost my train of thought there. I'm trying to find the word for it. It's everyone's responsibility. That's what it is. We all have a responsibility to this planet Earth. This is our home and our body. We all have a responsibility to take care of it. So, relying on 1% of the population to do that for us simply because they have access to it, whether they worked really hard for it or not, is insane. Because there are so many more people not part of that 1%. Clearly, it's called 1% for a reason. There's 99%. And that's, pardon my language, but a fuck ton of people. And I get that a huge mass of those people cannot afford anything. I am well aware of that. But even the people who have absolutely nothing, all the way to the people who have absolutely everything, we all have a part. We all have a mission. And it's our responsibility, our only own. If you woke up today in your own body, it's your responsibility. If you woke up in someone else's body, then, I totally understand. Freaky Friday, that shit. But, babes, if you woke up in your body, that's you. You're making the decisions today. Drive it, drive it to do something great. Maybe you can't donate $500,000, but maybe you can donate $5, or maybe you can donate some of those clothes or furniture to a homeless shelter or to a local thrift shop. You get it. And plus, since we kind of touched on capitalism there with the iPhone 15, baby, in a capitalist world, you can make it, okay? That means you have the opportunity to grow an empire. There are resources available. Use ChatGPT, use books, use professors, talk to people. There are resources out there. If other people could do it, and you now have the technology that people couldn't years ago, that'll give you a 1-up. That's a better 1-up than having money in your bank. I mean, maybe not. We can argue that. But still, there's so many reliable sources out there. Resources that will help you. So let me paint another picture for you. You spend years of your life grinding in your career. You climb that impossible corporate ladder, rung by rung, callus by callus, and the moment you finally get to the top, the same people who sat back and did the bare minimum are suddenly like, "Hey bestie, mind sharing your pie?" What? What pie, bitch? Do you know how many times I starved making this pie? Do you know how many times I eat the crust of failure before I got here? So unless you're in my close circle, unless you're someone I'd actually invite to my wedding, my funeral, or at least my Friday night karaoke session, you're not getting a slice, babes. Sorry. The fuck? Who do you think you are? And that goes with that conversation that I was telling you guys about with James Charles. Like an enemy, expecting him to give him a purse just because they know each other? Here's a message. If anyone that I used to know is listening to this, and you reach out to me when I'm at the top of my fame, asking me for something, and we're barely friends, babes, it's a no. You heard it here first, okay? Subscribe. But I will not subscribe to that bullshit. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. What? I did not work this hard for my enemies to be reaping the rewards. What? Of course, I'm gonna treat the people who love me, the people who have treated me and believed in me ever since the beginning. Are you kidding me? What's the point of rising up if you can't do it with the people you love the most? Like, I can't wait to treat my family and friends on vacations and, like, go around the world, or, like, go on these fun, spontaneous trips, maybe, like, yacht parties. Yeah. Hell yeah. Or, like, dinner parties. Like, I can't, like, oh my god, I would host so many dinner parties and just do so much, because, like, you know, that's the point of life. You grind so that you can have fun. That's, I mean, at least for me, that's the point of it, you know? You make certain sacrifices so that you can have this really warm, delicious pie that you've curated, that you made. You tried over and over and over again, like, baking it, and just literally everything going wrong until you realize what you did right. And then you keep making amazing pies, and then you get to sell these pies, and then you're like, booming, bitch. And people want your pies for free? The fuck? No. No, bitch. No. No pie for you. Now, let's talk about it. It's been brewing in our minds, I know. And don't get me wrong, of course, there are the Nepo babies. Of course. There's the old money floating around that's never seen a hard day's of work. We all know there is, and we all know one or two, or maybe not all of us, but they're out there. And sure, yeah, drag them, roast them. Send them a really strongly worded email if it makes you feel any better. But don't confuse venting with accountability. Blaming someone else does not pay your bills, babe. And chanting, "Eat the rich," isn't a financial strategy. It's a toddler tantrum with better branding. Let's be honest here. Of course, Nepo babies have a world on a silver platter. Yeah, we know that. I did not get life on a silver platter. So obviously, compared me to a Nepo baby out there, they're probably going to have access to certain resources, certain connections that I will probably have access to way later in my career. But if we really think about it, though, imagine, again, put yourself in that billionaire position. Imagine you have this child, and you one day want your child to take over the company, or at least have some sort of similar ambition, right? You're going to obviously teach that child to to be like that. You know, like it just makes sense. So obviously there's gonna be this pressure from the family, but sometimes there is that odd parent that does not give a fuck. They're just like, yeah, do whatever you want. As long as I'm taking care of you, or you're forever getting taken care of, so it doesn't even matter, right? That's a lot more uncommon, though, I would think. Because a lot of Nepo babies do become successful. And I feel like when they're put in rooms known that they are Nepo babies, there's also that pressure of, you are so-and-so's child. You have to live up to that expectation. So people in the company are going to expect that. Or like people around you, right? Like I feel like there's pressures to it that we are not aware of because we're not Nepo babies. And not that like a Nepo baby told me this themselves. I'm just using my brain here. I'm thinking of the possibilities. I'm putting myself in their shoes. I feel like if my parents, middle class parents, already put the pressures of having good grades, having a good job, like, I can't imagine a Nepo baby. Like, discipline takes you far in life, and accountability and responsibility, and also creativity. So why wouldn't they want their kids to implement those same values, right? I don't know. It seems like a one-brainer. Is that what it's called? A one-brainer? A no-brainer. Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer to me. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're a Nepo baby or not. If you're just a regular schmegular, came from a middle-class family, trying to make it somehow. You chose the career you did. You chose this exact situation that you are in. Life is about consequences and your actions. So you chose to settle for comfort instead of sacrifice. You chose to stay with that partner who wanted nothing more than to Netflix and chill and vibe on the couch with a nice little beer in their hand, than a partner who's willing to chase and build a future with you. You chose that. You're just mad at the people who didn't settle, who actually took risks, who sacrificed, who worked through hell and came out the other side with something to show for it. It's not injustice, babe. It's envy. And I think that's what we really need to think about. And I've always said this, envy is not a bad thing, always. I mean, yes, it's a negative emotion. You envy people. But envy will show you where your soul wants to be, what it craves. Let that be a driving factor. Let that fuel your ambition. Let it be a compass towards success, not a self-hate mechanism. Because it can be, it very much can, and it is, right? It's sometimes you think you hate someone because of what they did, but really you hate someone because you wish you were them, or you wish you were in that position. You wish your life went differently. You wish you had the opportunities they had. You just wish you had something that you don't already have. And again, let that be a driving factor. Let that fuel you, but, turn it around. Don't just spew in the hate. Don't let it just bubble inside of you. Just be like, okay, well, if they can do that, how can I work around this? How can I attain that? What can I do to get there? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself after feeling those emotions. It's not wrong to feel those emotions. It's wrong to do nothing about them. It's wrong to just sit there and blame others. So here it is, in plain and simple. Rich people don't owe you shit, Bill. Yes, some of them will give, and they're gonna donate to causes, fund charities, save forests, rescue puppies, whatever sets their soul on fire. But what they do from their heart, not your entitlement. So stop waiting for a billionaire fairy godmother to swoop in with a magic wallet. Stop waiting for celebrities to fix your community, your bills, your life. The only person who can save you is the one staring at you in the mirror. The one that you woke up with this morning. When you opened your eyes and you felt your body. That's who is going to save you. And trust me, they're getting tired of waiting. So thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the weird visuals doesn't bother you. And I hope maybe you learned a thing or two. And again, feel free to debate with me on this. I want to hear your opinion. I love you so much. If you sticked around this long, leave a little comment. Leave a fire emoji to let me know that you were listening. I love you. Mwah, mwah, and mwah. Ciao, ciao.